Listen for a second to a voice from your childhood, as I listened to a voice from my childhood. And that voice is telling you, you must believe in something. You must believe in a God. You must believe in a parent. You must believe in a church and a credo. And today, in this new medieval that we see all around us, in the collapse of Homo sapiens, naturally, in the new medieval, faith comes to the fore, combined with the insidious and insistent pressure to conform. Everyone is rounded up into their belief category. Do you believe in this God? Do you believe in that God? Do you believe in this kind of economy? Do you believe in that? And once you are identified with a belief, then you become a martyr for that stupidity and for that superstition. Because the Enlightenment in the Western way, the tradition started by Descartes and a chosen few after him, sparked by Nietzsche, who said, let's just look at the truth of the matter. Let's look at the truth of consciousness. And let's take the great risk to agree with Schopenhauer that all is will. So what good is faith? Faith will make you a martyr. Faith will make your life entirely empty. Do you believe in the bigger house? Do you believe in the Mercedes? Do you believe in a savior? Do you believe in a president? All of these beliefs, and let's ratchet it up. Let's talk about theology. A theology without belief is the Western way. A theology that says we have the will and we have the determination to make the God that makes us stronger. We no longer believe. We make. We create. We create exactly what we want. We will not be bound by the trivial, superficial, and yet deeply rooted fears that all individuals have that say, oh, if I just join a group of this belief or that belief, then I shall be exempt from my fears. No, my friends, you will never be exempt from your fears, and your death will make your fears moot, and your life a cipher, unless you take your life in hand, your consciousness in hand, now, as I speak to you. Take your life and your next life in hand. You do not believe these old books, these old sayings, these old codices, these new regulations. No, you as an enlightened intellect are always above the law, always above fashion. The future is at your fingertips, and the last obstacle, the last evil twin that dwells inside your mind is the belief even in yourself. You must go beyond the belief in your ability to do that. You must create a new you, the Homo sagax, that I've been speaking of for some time. So do it. Cut the past. Eliminate all faith and concentrate on will, action, and the success of a healthy future. One of the most subtle and yet colossal blunders of the human mind is the assumption that all men have souls. This pernicious fallacy informs and invests much of what we think of as Christian, democratic, liberal, and because it's false, everything that leads from it is also false. We modern men are somehow habituated to think, I have a finger, he has a finger, she has a finger, therefore we all must have souls. We all have fingers, we all have brains, we all have trials and tribulations, we all must have souls. Nothing could be further from the truth. Sometimes entire generations, millennia go by without the arrival of a soul on earth. Those of the old school knew this. There was a training, there was an understanding, and there was a dedication to the creation of a soul. And only after long and arduous dedication and investigation did the soul arise here, there, always in sporadic spots. Now I know most of you won't believe me, and I tell you, I'm not asking for your belief. Faith is not a part of this message. What is a part of this message? This is an example. Music has been with us forever. Since we first started pounding the drums and playing the flute and going wild in our spring ecstasies, music has always been with us, and it is with us today. And yet in the entire history of music, it reflects emotions, yes. It reflects nature, perhaps, yes. But the soul who created music in his image was Beethoven. And he was the first artist who made music in his own image, who put his personality into the notes and exposed the tension and the conflict between a soul and a soulless society. That tragic, that perennial element of conflict is in every note of Beethoven, and it is why he is so brilliant of an artist, because a soul resonates with that soul. It is not entertainment. It is not diversion. It is not even spring ecstasy. It is a soul bringing forward another soul in time. And so you say, well, if a soul is not born, how do we create it? Well, frankly, I don't know how souls were created before, but I know how they must be done now. And the first step is deprogramming. You must eliminate all belief systems that commit you to work, that commit you to routine, and that commit you to profit. You must take the responsibility. You must understand the responsibility of bringing consciousness to God. Every act is a theological act, if seen correctly. You first deprogram yourself, and then you concentrate on connecting your mind with the mind of God, your will with the will of God. Once you make that firm connection with the potential, the actuality, and the future of God's development, then you will have created a soul that resonates with every soul that has been created in the same purpose. And then, and only then, will you truly understand. I've always been of the opinion, and have lived the experience, that the only good idea is a dangerous idea. And so I thought today I might relay one. For those few of you out there intent on creating a soul and challenging the boundaries of space and time with your will, I thought I'd give you a little secret. Just something small, but something that grows and grows and grows. Because if you look very carefully, this planet has seen 4.5 billion years of growth. Tumultuous volcanoes, impacts of asteroids and other large objects. Life perhaps starting hot holes in the bottom of the sea and exploding upwards through billions of years. And what is the connecting thread? What is it that will eventually make a soul? It's not goodness. It's not health. It's not success. There's only one element that can guarantee that all of the effort of the past has not been in vain, and that is intelligence. If you have any inkling at all, if you have any desire to create the kind of soul we've been talking about, then you must look inside yourself and make every organ in your body more intelligent. And look inside your personality, and you will find 1,000 selves there. You will find 1,000 voices in your mind. And your job, your duty to yourself and to God is to make all of those voices coherent, to make all of those personalities more intelligent. Because that is the ascent. That is how we distinguish ourselves from all of the mistakes of the past. Evolution is accelerating. I needn't mention Homo Borg. We know what happened, and we know what is happening. I will mention Homo Sagax, and that his intelligence will outstrip ours by far. But it cannot and will not happen by chance, because the apparatus and all of the forces out there want to ensure stupidity. In fact, as Homo sapiens declines, then stupidity is enshrined, becomes the law of the land. So your job is to cut yourself off from society, make every bone, every sinew, every chemical in your body more intelligent. Make your mind more intelligent. And then when you become free, When that intelligence turns into freedom, then you will see that the rewards of that intelligence, of having a soul, means that your duty is clear. You see your duty to God clearly. And every act embodies your intelligence, your will, and you shine. You shine like a diamond, and everyone sees it, and they want to be like you. But they can't, because they haven't done the work. You will do the work. You will do the creating of that soul, and it will be yours, and you will take it into the future and build a future society. Walk with me upstream. Now that you understand the three wills, now that you have liberated yourself from the conditioning and propaganda of the apparatus, now that you have liberated yourself from the various stupidities and shibboleths of the dominant religions and economic systems and political organizations. Once you have freed yourself from this great gravity, you can laugh. You can celebrate your freedom. You can proclaim your enlightenment to yourself and to your friends. And yet something is still there. Something that must be done, but what is this something that must be done? Is it to return to the masses and try to debrief them? Is it to return to the circus of capitalist exploitations and make $1 million, $1 billion? Is it perhaps to hide yourself in a sport, in a game, in a study? Or perhaps you would favor disappearing altogether, hiding out, back in the caves, back in the ghettos, a small island somewhere. But I have the task for you. And it's a two-part task. And the first part of that task is to unite with other Homo sagex. Because the freedom that comes from understanding the will of God is the duty of following that same will of God, which is the same as your personal will. It is first will connected with third will, against second will connected with third will. So yes, walk upstream, see the bubbles. And something is happening because, yes, our ancient divide, our object of consciousness, is the transformation of death into something more beautiful, something more meaningful. And that, at the Western Way Institute, we have accomplished. We have discovered the technology. We have discovered the techniques that echo the old Celtic myth of another world, which they called Bid, which receives those souls, those few souls that you have created, that passes them to that planet, and then back, and then back, Your will is now dedicated to this migration. That is your new job. That is your new art. We are leaving this planet behind. We will be coming back. But we are leaving now. Now that Homo sapiens is dying, deteriorating, decadent, and diseased. Now that we have the power to leave, we let it go. Let it go. Band together and apply your will to this voyage. And we shall arrive, and soon. You won't find me. You won't find the city. You can look and you can monitor and you can investigate, but you will not find us because we have the power and you are nothing. You are dying and you will not be remembered. We have the trigger.